welcome to Superintendent Spotlight. Here with you today are your guest co-hosts, your favorite guest co-hosts.
Ooh.
Well, I'm just
You're a favorite, I think.
taking the stretch.
Yeah.
Lindsay Ayers and Susan Dargy. And we are very happy to be here with you today on this weird, rainy,
Windy.
Thursday morning. And we were spoiled with 2 beautiful days that reminded us that, yes, we do live in New England and it will be spring one day and get warmer.
That's March for you.
Right.
But at least all the snow is almost melted.
Yes, that is a blessing. So we have as our guest today Rachel Kania.
Well, hello, ladies.
Hello.
Happy to be here with the co-host.
Yes, we were excited to know that we could
Thanks
come
for having
and talk
Westfield
with you
Eats
today.
on.
Yes, so tell us about you and Westfield Eats and what you do in Westfield Public Schools.
So I have been here for about 7 years now with you, and I was a chef. I come from Johnson & Wales, and I was a restaurateur, and I built restaurants and ran lots of them and had a lot of fun, and decided once I had kids that, maybe it's time to back off a little bit and find something a little more suited to kids, which perfect. And school food service was something that interested me for sure. Just the regulation to it all, the codes and kids eating, for me was always fun. Better than kind of the public in the restaurant setting. The audience is a little bit nicer sometimes. Although that 4th grade advisory board was tough on me last week.
Yeah.
They're one of the toughest boards I've ever sat in front of. They were very concerned about pizza toppings and, their top 3 choices and why they haven't seen more of it. But so when I started here, I really wanted to push to, our workers, because a lot of the workers are just moms that need the hours, these types of hours with their kids and can get out after school. So a lot of people here don't have culinary training. And so the first couple of years that I was here, that's what I concentrated on was how do we use our equipment? How do, we chop properly? How do we make sure the food quality is good? And then once we kind of built up our brand, Westfield Eats here, and our business a little bit, because it is a separate self-standing business from the school. We don't take any money from the city or towns, which most people don't realize.
Yeah.
And so we focused on marketing and parent communication and information, because a lot of people didn't know what we were serving out there and, still had that, is it mystery meat? Like what's, or is it just French fries and pizza, So
what is my child eating at
exactly,
school?
yeah. So we started a kind of huge campaign on our brand and social media and reaching out to parents, surveys, that sort of stuff. We spent a couple of years really doing that and building it up to try and get the kids interested to come on in. We did a lot of taste testing with vendors and products and fun stuff to get the kids excited, prizes, and we still do to this day. We have Try It Tuesdays where we try different fruits and vegetables or new items we have on the menu so that kids can get a chance to try it, before they take the meal. And the parents get to see it too on Westfield Eats on Facebook and on Instagram so that they can check it out too and see what we're
cool.
doing.
I didn't know that. And they get a sticker if they try
Right,
something.
yeah.
Yes.
A lot of times there's little prizes or stickers if they do try something new, which is awesome. It's
My
encouraging.
children are trying food. I was talking to Rachel before we came on, and Jack and Finn, they're at Munger Hill in 1st and 2nd grade, and they're very picky eaters at home, but they will try chicken carbonara at school. I think for the sticker, for the excitement. So I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you. I'm excited about it.
I wonder if pickiness is inherited. In a way.
Oh, interesting.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, for
I
sure.
have
Maybe.
had some lunches and dinners with Lindsay. And I know that she's not
Fair enough.
necessarily a culinary risk taker.
Right.
Right.
So maybe you should stop by.
Maybe I
on
should get a
Try It
sticker. We
should.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
it's funny. We joke,
It
and that I'll mention her, Chris Sporbar, our secretary, and she's been with us for many of years in food service, and she is one of the pickiest eaters you will ever come across.
See that?
And we joke with her all of the time because we'll say to her, "What goes with this?" or "What should we try next?" And she's always like, "You're asking the wrong person." But yeah, so we've done a lot of work on that, getting the parents involved, and then once we kind of got the buy-in from families and them realizing that, one, it's free meals, and that two, we did offer, some pretty great options in food, then we really started to dig down and concentrate on local partnerships. So, really getting as much food as we can from farms. I'm happy to say that in the schools, we no longer have canned vegetables whatsoever.
Nice.
We either do
Wonderful.
frozen, from a great source, or we, in the seasons if it's off, or we do fresh from the farms. So one of our great local partners that we love to push is the North Elm Butcher Block.
Oh, yes.
Great family, and we teamed up together because beef is surprisingly, beef and chicken obviously are the two biggest things that we deal with. And I thought to myself, chicken's really, really tough because there's not a lot of purveyors around here that can handle the amount we would need.
Right.
But beef, I thought to myself, you know what, how about I reach out and see? And they were so excited to work with us. I mean, they have kids in the system,
Yes.
They've been a great family in town here. And so they actually, we call them up weekly, and they grind our meat fresh for us. They deliver them to the
Wow.
schools, or we pick them up. And then we went on to do burgers. They got a burger machine. So we were like, that's it, let's now. So they do
Yes.
all of our burgers now. Even down to our lettuce is a hydroponics farm in Indian Orchard called Harvest Spring. And it's awesome. I mean, there's 12 people that together own this collaborative, and they, do all of our fresh herbs, parsley, basil, and all of our lettuce. It's just
Wow.
great. Yeah.
So I feel like I am pretty connected to what's happening in schools, but
I didn't
to
know
hear
this, yeah.
you say all of that, I think of the people who are much more disconnected. And I think there's a TikTok challenge right now, or some trend where, what did you look like in the 90s?
Yes,
right?
I've seen that.
What did school lunch look like in
yes.
the
Let's
90s?
Start our own TikTok challenge.
Compared to now
Yeah.
is such a drastic, I mean, even 10 years ago.
Even bringing plant-based items. So even,
Yeah.
we're kind of concentrating on that too. Not only diversifying for our kids, because we have, populations that don't get really serviced. They don't see their food from home, things like that. So we've
Yeah.
started to serve, some ethnic dishes that we think, might be popular with the groups of kids we have, which has gone really, really well. We did a crazy curry chicken bowl, the other day. It was very well received.
Nice.
I'll
We
have
have
to ask about
yeah,
that
butter
one.
chicken
Yeah.
coming up. We had chicken franchise yesterday.
The orange chicken.
Yes, the
Yeah,
orange
the
chicken's
orange chicken
big.
was
Yeah.
good,
So
yeah.
we've tried to branch out and really,
Yeah.
include everybody, and not only,
Right.
and but the plant-based items are really big. And so at our high school, we've started to do that. That's going really well. You know what I mean? So
Did
it's-
that come from students?
yeah, students
saying
had, we had a
we
lot of
want
people. We
some-
started with the burgers, the black bean
Yeah.
burgers and the garden burgers.
Oh, cool.
And once we started to realize that there was an interest for maybe some more items, because we do have a lot of vegetarians,
Right.
or people that have to stay away from pork or other things. So, we made some changes, like the sausages in the district. We did chicken, we do all beef hot dogs. So we know we have a lot. We have a huge Muslim population too,
Right.
that has to stay away from pork. So we try to fit the menu too, so they don't have to say, well, I can't eat today. I don't know if it touched
Yeah.
food, or same thing with, we're all nut free. So a lot of parents
Right.
don't realize that my menus that I make are completely nut free. I even try and stay away from cross activity, with coconut and sesame and things like that. So if there
Right.
is anything, we note it. And then we even do gluten-free menus. We have so many kids that are celiac or have a hard
Yes.
time with
Yeah.
gluten. So we put out gluten-free menus for the kids too, and their parents, so that they have easier choices. And we try and mimic the menu, so they're not eating completely different things, as best we
Right.
can.
Yeah.
So we've really tried to cater to the population of kids that we have, because they're our audience. You know
Right.
what I
So
mean?
parents should feel that their children will be safe eating the school lunch. What is the process? If someone is deciding to have their child try school lunch that has not before, and they do have an allergy or celiac, or they do have something that requires a different menu, should they contact you?
Yeah, so we're very, very safe. Even my children have, allergies and EpiPens. So I take it very seriously because, my son also is in that realm. So we're very, very in tune with the nurses. We work together. So anytime a student comes in and they have any kind of allergy, we know about it. Whether they want help with it or not, we note it in our systems.
Okay.
And then I talk to the parent. I talk to every single parent of every single kid with allergies in our system.
Wow.
So when the note comes in, you get a personal phone call from me. Hello. And
phone
yeah,
calls.
it is in the beginning of the year. It is.
Yeah.
There's a 2-week period where you can't really talk to me much, but it's nice because I do really get to talk to each parent and let them know how to safely navigate. And what we do is we really give the parents a lot of leeway too. On our website, we have our recipes on how everything is made and the products that are used in it. And then we have another folder that has all of the nutritional labels for every product that we have.
Wow.
So that if a parent only has one small thing,
Yeah.
a child's allergic to pineapple,
They can look at the
yep,
menu.
they
and
can
the
look at the menu,
ingredients,
go in and say, okay, this juice today doesn't, qualify, you're safe. Or, you have the name and the phone number of the cafeteria manager. We have a manager at every school, and they take it very seriously. And we also go through a dietitian. So people that have multiple or severe allergies. I'm a chef. I'm not a dietitian. So we have a woman, Teresa Siklecki. She's wonderful.
nice.
That helps us. She's been doing this for 20
long-
years,
yes.
25, I think,
Wow.
actually, with Westfield. And she makes their menus, you know what I mean, around our menu. So again, it's nothing, drastic or different, but she makes them so that the student is safe and comfortable and then checks in with the parent every month. So we've really kind of nailed out a system, between the nurses and us to keep the kids safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
really important.
You mentioned in talking about Westfield Eats that this is a standalone business.
It is, yeah.
So I think that, as you said, is something that people aren't really aware of. And so what does that mean for the way you operate that's different from
Right.
the
So-
rest of the public schools?
Yeah, I think a lot of people misinterpret. So we are federally funded in the sense of we do get reimbursement for each child that, passes through the lunch line from the federal government and then partially from the state and from Massachusetts. So what happens is people are like, well, it's free, it's free, it's free. It is free, but it's only free if the child comes up and swipes their card. So I laugh and I say that. People are like, well, you
Right.
must be, and it's like, no, actually, there's plenty of school systems that are still struggling. Because if your children aren't excited about the food and they don't participate, you don't make money. So
Right.
then in turn, you can't buy better products from farms. So there are a lot of small school systems that don't have a lot of kids that participate. But even though it's free, they're still really not making a lot of money. And they have a hard time going to the farms.
Right.
Because, going and getting beef from North Elm Butcher Block
Yeah.
is relatively more expensive than going to my big box store, you know what I mean, and getting it in bulk.
So the more students that actually participate, the more funding you get.
Yeah, like just for example, just this year alone, we've done $1.3 million worth of equipment updates and, updates to the kitchen. And on top of that, I think we've done another probably $800,000 in cafeteria furniture, signage, helping the schools out.
So beautiful. I shout out to Munger Hill.
I know, the little booth.
Gorgeous.
The booths are,
Yeah.
what are they
Yes.
called?
Nook
What do you-
pods.
Nook
Oh,
pods,
okay.
where you can have a
Special
special
little lunch.
lunch.
Yeah.
But the tables that are
They're
in
gorgeous. Yeah,
so
we
many
have the
schools.
logos on the tables,
Yes.
the colors of the school.
But the
Oh,
Make it much more
decorating,
inviting.
Chris,
Yeah.
Chris is your
Yes,
manager
Chris.
there.
Yeah. Read
It
Across
is like
America Week, all the decorations
Yes.
for that
Yes,
last week.
and now we're ready for St. Patrick's Day
You should
over
see
there
what she's
in a
got going
big
on.
way.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
got a
You gotta-
rainbow and a pot of gold.
Yes.
That's
Wow. Yeah.
Some of our managers are very much into decorating and
Yeah.
wowing the kids when
Yeah.
they walk through that
Yeah.
door, which is great to see. You know what I mean?
Actually, I have a funny story about Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Munger Hill. So students at Munger Hill were doing a project where they had to describe how the math they were learning was used in the real world
Oh,
and
okay.
careers. And they interviewed Chris.
Yeah.
And she was able to, explain to them how fractions were used, which
Yep.
was perfect in measuring
We use
and,
them every
and
day.
cooking food.
Yep.
And she was just so sweet. And so those students, used her interview in their project. It was really cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's lovely. I love it.
So I think we're about ready for our first break. And on Superintendent Spotlight, we have 4 songs, and they are all from the same year on the Billboard chart. It doesn't mean they all were released the same year or all in the top 10 in the same year, but they were all in the top 100 of this year, and we have to guess the year. So we will start with our first song and see what we think, and we'll come back and continue talking to Rachel Kenya and talk about International School Meals Day.
Number 39.
On a Monday, I am waiting. Tuesday, I am fading. And by Wednesday, I can't sleep. Then the phone rings, I hear you. And the darkness is a clear view. 'Cause you've come to rescue me. Fall with you, I fall so fast. I can hardly catch my breath. I hope it lasts. Oh, seems like I can finally rest my head on something real. I like the way that feels. Oh, as if you know me better than I ever knew myself. I love how you can tell all the pieces, pieces, pieces of me. All the pieces, pieces, pieces of me. I am moody, messy, I get restless, and it sounds less. How you never seem to care. When I'm angry, you listen, make me happy to listen, and you won't stop till I'm there. Fall, sometimes I fall so fast. When I hit that bottom crash, you're all I have. Oh, seems like I can finally rest my head on something real. I like the way that feels. Oh, as if you know me better than I ever knew myself. I love how you can tell all the pieces, pieces, pieces of me. How do you know everything I'm about to say? Am I that obvious? And if it's written on my face, I hope it never goes away. Yeah. On a Monday, I am waiting, and by Tuesday, I am fading into your arms, so I can breathe. Oh, seems like I can finally rest my head on something real. I like the way that feels. Oh, as if you know me better than I ever knew myself. I love how you can tell. Oh, I love how you can tell. Oh, I love how you can tell. Pieces, pieces, pieces of me. All the pieces, pieces, pieces of me.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
All right, welcome back to Superintendent Spotlight. That was Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson. Did you know that one?
I've heard that
You've
song
heard that one.
before. But
Usually when I come on, I don't know all the songs, so I'm excited about this one, and I don't want to give away too much
This is our
because
genre.
Rachel will be guessing at the end of
our
the show.
age timeline.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And that was number 39. Right?
Oh,
On
no,
the
right, number
Billboard
39.
chart.
Thank
Yeah.
you, yeah. So we are celebrating International School Meals Day today, which I did not know this existed, but it is celebrated annually every second Thursday in March and takes place on March 12th this year. Is today March 12th? It is. Perfect. It is a unique movement that creates awareness about healthy eating, which we've talked a lot about, and I feel like you're doing a great job with that,
you.
for all children around the world. And the event actually first occurred in the U.S. and the U.K. in March 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's all about good nutrition and how that's vital to kids, their growth, and their mental development, and really emphasizes the need to foster healthy eating habits at school and at home for kids.
Yeah.
And as a parent, I really appreciate that effort because when I send my kids to school, I know they're eating healthy. I mean, there's some chocolate milk, but I feel like it's all about
It's
the balance.
low fat. It's
Yes,
low fat, low
chocolate
sugar,
milk.
low fat. Well, that's the other part of it too. Is a lot of times it's very confusing. You know what I mean? Because a child will come home to a parent and say, "Oh, we had Pop-Tarts today for breakfast."
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, "What? Pop-Tarts? Come on," you know. And I'll get the call. You know what I mean? And what we do is we fake the kids out, right? Just like we all do. We fake them out.
Yeah.
And it's in the Pop-Tart package. It looks like the regular Pop-Tarts, but it's whole grain. It's low sugar. There's only one of them. You know what I mean?
So they're
Versus
actually
two.
different than the Pop-Tarts that you would buy in
So
like the grocery
even
store.
we really try and keep the prepackaged kind of, processed stuff like that to
Mm-hmm.
a minimum as much as we can without the kids revolting completely.
Yeah.
Because I can't push kale omelets, all the time here. But we try and limit
That would be
it,
great.
right?
Try
and
it Tuesday.
what we do bring in, we try and make sure that it's as clean as possible with the label and that it does follow our guidelines. That is, whole grain, there can't be any movement with that. It's got to be whole grain.
Right.
And low sugar and low fat, you know what I mean? And a higher. Now we're seeing a big push in the news and everywhere for higher protein, lower with grain. I think eventually that will come down to us for sure. You know what I mean? Them flipping the pyramid like that. It's a great thing. That's how it should be. You know what I mean? We should be focusing on proteins and vegetables versus grains. I find that the grain does bring in a lot of sugar, a lot of stuff like that to the diet. So I'm excited that they're bringing that down. We haven't heard any regulation changes for the parents out there. I've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of calls, and especially with the milk. I know that the milk is a hot topic right now.
The whole
bringing back
milk,
the whole
yeah.
milk,
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of questions from teachers and parents about when that's happening. I would love to be able to give you a timeline, but the regulations haven't come down to us yet. So I know that it's been passed and we're able to do that. I just don't know when we are. But we will participate when that does happen and have it as an option for kids.
And why are people afraid of the whole milk versus the low fat?
I feel like the fat content, you know what I
Fat
mean?
content,
It is
yeah.
a lot higher. But I feel like if you look at the meal as a whole and getting your fat from a healthy place like that, you know what I mean? And again, getting the fat from the protein
Right.
versus, from the carbohydrates in the meal. That's how we should be thinking about it. Fats aren't necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like the sugars and,
Yes.
the lack of fiber and the lack of protein and
Right.
the processed ingredients.
Yeah,
that's what we
protein
should
is.
be.
You can even get protein coffee at Starbucks now.
Correct,
So
yes.
it's
Right.
definitely a
I
big
think
push.
it's just as the trends. I mean, the science. It's
science
the
changes.
science,
And then there's also
better
trends.
understanding.
It's like
right.
both. Yeah.
And people kind of hold on to.
Yes.
Like thinking of all different diets I've been on over the years.
Yeah.
Like I remember the no fat, low fat stuff.
Right.
But
Right.
there was so much sugar in that,
Yes.
like the Snackwell's cookies
Yes,
and
yes,
the
yes.
Olestra
And now the
chips
sugar is the bad.
is the villain.
which
right.
really, it makes
And the
sense.
fat really isn't the villain. But like you said, it's get it from the healthy
Right.
places. And people, I think we have so much that has been coming at us about it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, and to
hard
flip the pyramid like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, that's
Yeah,
that's a
just
big,
to flip it, not even make a small
right.
change.
Yeah,
but
that's
flip
what I
it.
mean. Is it's a very
Yeah.
big,
It's a big
kind of
change.
movement.
Yeah.
But you know, hey, we listen to science. You know what I mean? I feel
Yeah.
like we should be listening to science
Right.
and move with
Yes.
it.
Absolutely.
And not
Definitely.
just because it's always been that way.
Yeah.
So I'm
Right,
excited
and
about it.
you mentioned, Lindsay, with this International School Meals Day, it's also about making sure kids are ready to learn and what good nutrition does to benefit mental health because we're all connected.
Correct.
So what happens if I'm a student who is getting to school late, or I'm not sure I'm able to get a lunch or get a we haven't even talked about
I know.
breakfast, really.
I know, right? And breakfast is so
Except for
Yes.
the Pop-Tarts.
yeah, right.
Right.
No.
So how does that work with making sure that we are getting as many students as possible to have breakfast and lunch?
Right.
at
We
school?
definitely we make a huge push for lunch, but an even bigger one for breakfast because I think breakfast is super important for kids learning. You know, that start at the beginning of the day. You know, because again, if a kid doesn't have breakfast, you know, by 10 a.m., they're a hot mess.
They're
I mean,
hangry.
myself included. I'm sure you ladies as well. But you know, you could only imagine if we can handle ourselves. A child, you know, they have a really hard time focusing and concentrating. So, you know, breakfast is free for everybody. Lunch is free. So I encourage you. Even if your child eats at home, even if your child has a little something at home, you know, because you wake up early, 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock, your child isn't sitting at their seat until about 9:15, 9:30. So, you know, even those hours in between, encourage them to come up to, you know, the school breakfast area and grab something. Again, they don't have to eat everything they take. You know what I mean? It is okay for them if they get, you know, full or overwhelmed to leave stuff at the share tables, which we call it, for other kids to take if they need. You know, and again, I think people are like, well, they already ate breakfast. Let them eat again. I don't tell you how many kids, their parents have no idea that they come in and they eat a whole
so
second
that
breakfast.
was me for a while, and
Yeah.
then I really just appreciated
All
it
of my
because
kids
if
are
they're
like that.
still hungry,
Exactly. Yeah.
you know, and now for the kids that go to the before school program or the Boys and Girls Club, they're maybe not having enough time, you know, to eat before they get there. So the fact
and they're there
that they
so early.
Yes.
So a lot of times we
7
actually let
a.m..
those kids eat before the buses even get there because they've been sitting there for 2
Yeah.
hours staring and they're smelling the food.
Right.
You know, we've made a big
nice.
push to try and bake our own breads in the morning at breakfast and do kind of heartier breakfast that we make ourselves rather than the packaged processed stuff. And so they'll be sitting there smelling the eggs. You know,
it really
cooking.
does smell really good. Yeah.
So a lot of times the kids, you know, we service them a little bit earlier than the rest of the kids. But what's nice about that is don't ever fret as a parent
Yeah.
if you drop your child off late, even if you drop your child off really late and
Yeah,
you know
they
say it's
still
10
can eat.
o'clock,
Yeah.
absolutely they'll still be asked if they would like to participate in breakfast. We call it second chance breakfast, at breakfast after the bell, some schools call
Okay.
it.
Right.
But even all the way up to the high school, kids can come down at any time in between breakfast and lunch and grab breakfast if they need it.
And that's part of the
No charge.
regulation.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, they don't require us to stay open that long for breakfast. We're allowed to 20 minutes after the bell
Right.
rings to be done. But
But
here in
you-
Westfield, we truly believe that that's not acceptable and that,
Yeah.
you know, we have the ability. It's no problem to grab a child a breakfast, you know, at 9 or at 9:45.
Right.
So we encourage all kids, even if you're late.
Do they take it to their classrooms?
Yeah, they
when
do.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they
Yep.
just can finish it.
Yeah, so we
and
give it to go.
Not
yeah.
miss class
And
time.
in classes, what we do too is I think it's like 9:10. We switch over from
Right.
tray
Yes.
service to kids eating to in a bag and
So
to your
that they
classroom.
get to class.
Yeah, so that they're
on
not
time.
late, not interrupting
Yeah.
the teacher, and
But
the
they can
flow of
still hear
things.
what's going on. I liked
And
that when I
finish their
taught second
breakfast.
grade. When the kiddos would come down with their breakfast, I was
Yes.
so glad because they could still be part of morning meeting
Yep.
and not miss instruction, but they're still getting their food. So
Right.
I always liked that.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
So speaking of food
Ooh,
and
they always put out a good menu.
lunches, yes. Tiger, during the break, I grabbed a Tiger's Pride menu for today, Thursday, March 12th, and they always have takeout and curbside
I think it's
pickup.
only takeout and curbside today
Oh.
because of the faculty staff game.
Oh, I didn't know
So it's
about
only
the
takeout, curbside, no in-person dining.
Okay.
Okay.
The faculty staff game?
Basketball game, yeah, here at WTA.
Well, I was wondering what
Students
that was.
versus staff today.
Oh.
And
at
what
1
time
o'clock.
is that?
1
Oh.
o'clock.
1 o'clock?
Wow.
Okay. So takeout and curbs, thank you, Pete. Takeout and curbside only today. And the soups today are kielbasa and cabbage or cheeseburger chowder.
Oh, Lord.
I love cheeseburger chowder, but none of it has potatoes in it.
Well, we need a list of ingredients.
Yes.
Some do it with potatoes, some do
Yeah.
it with macaroni. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I've seen a different.
Interesting.
Okay, salads. We have a garden. I'm sorry, I was just planning my
Yeah.
lunch because I didn't have breakfast and don't have a lunch today. Yesterday was National Pack Your Lunch Day. I found
Oh, it
out when
was?
I was at the intermediate school.
Okay.
They had that up on the board. Okay, where was I?
You were at
garden
garden
salad.
salad.
Or you could choose an iceberg wedge salad topped with crumbled bacon, tomatoes, cucumbers, toasted walnuts, avocado, red onion, and gorgonzola cheese, served with your choice of dressing. Entrees today are basil and sun-dried tomato chicken, that's sautéed breaded chicken breast, finished with a creamy basil parmesan cheese and sun-dried tomato sauce, and that is served with a garlic risotto and squash medley. I'm
That's my
having
pick. That's
yeah.
my pick.
So
There we
far,
are.
I have not narrowed it down.
Exactly.
And the other entree is pork Milanese.
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 Yeah, Milanese.
Sautéed pork cutlet finished with a Dijon cream sauce, served with garlic risotto and squash medley. Sandwich specials, a patty melt, char grilled my favorite. Char grilled hamburger with cheddar cheese, caramelized onions, and Dijonnaise on grilled marble rye, served with French fries and a pickle. Can you tell I'm hungry? And then roasted vegetable flatbread melt, roasted zucchini, squash, broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, and onions with cheddar cheese melted open face on a flatbread, served with French fries and a pickle. And as always, chef's featured desserts are not to be missed. So we have some decisions ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. It seemed by your face and your smile, the patty melt may have won that.
I know. Yeah. Did we
You
have?
paused and
I
smiled.
was thinking about salads.
Yes.
Do we ever have salads for school lunch?
So, at the secondary levels, we do all of the time. But
I
at
bet that's
the
pretty
elementary.
popular.
Yes, at the
Yeah.
elementary level, a little harder to push.
Yes.
There has been a couple of times where we have tried to do like a chicken Caesar salad as the main dish. Did not go well on our end.
They didn't like
They
it?
did not like
Yeah.
it. So what we do instead with the elementary aged kids is we do garden salads usually on Fridays with the pizza.
With
or
the
in
pizza,
between.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's
We usually
very
get it
traditional.
in there. Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
they'll have a little bit
I
of
like
salad on the side,
Yeah.
but when it's a main dish, a little hard to
Yeah,
push with
that
the
way
younger kids.
a lot of them will try the salad because a lot of them get pizza. I
Correct,
imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the secondary level, we have like 3 to 4 salads a day, different options, and we actually do a salad of the week every
Oh,
week. So
cool.
we rotate and do different types of salads. I believe this it's chicken Southwest salad.
Oh, that's
this
cool.
week. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
so
sounds
it's
good.
ever changing.
yeah.
That's
Awesome.
nice.
Uh-huh.
So we will take our
Take another
second break.
All right.
And this is She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5. And it was number 35 in this year on the Billboard chart.
Number 35.
Beauty queen of only 18, she had some trouble with herself. He was always there to help her. She always belonged to someone else. I drove for miles and wound up at your door.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
107.5 FM WSFD.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 107.5 FM WSFD-LP Westfield.
Welcome back to Superintendent Spotlight. Your co-hosts today are Lindsay Ayers and Susan Dargy. And our guest today is Rachel Kania of Westfield Eats.
Thanks for having us.
We're so glad to have you. And surprise! International School Meals Day. I think, Rachel, you may have collaborated
I did,
with
yes.
Chef Eric and his students.
Yep. So I think Stefan, he loves to eat when he comes on here. We all know that.
Oh,
And so
Chef
he was
Eric,
like,
no.
well, just a suggestion. If you call Chef Rogers, maybe the kids could
Yes.
try a new recipe. So this is one of the recipes we tested out and we did, again, to try and get away from the processed breakfast items in the schools. So we were doing crick breads and trying to do them in different ways with applesauce or Greek yogurt or other healthier options. So we did a ton of variations, and this was the one that we settled on with the schools. So this one's the snickerdoodle bread, and or which one is it?
So, seeing the students were doing it, I let
Oh.
them, so it's,
Oh, even better. You changed on.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Tell us.
That's what I love.
Yeah, tell us. What you,
Tell me what you did.
My name is Chloe. We decided to make moist banana bread.
Okay, Chloe. All right.
And instead of doing raisins, we did chocolate chips.
Okay,
I'm
bigger sell at
excited
the
about
schools.
That. Yeah.
Anything that has chocolate chips in it is a win at school.
Yeah.
We all know that. Yep.
It is quick bread, so it doesn't have yeast. So it was made in the oven, kind of like a cookie or something else, and it's very good.
Did you already try it?
Yes.
You have to, right? As the chefs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and it's a great way for us to use all of our disgusting bananas that
Oh, yeah.
that the kids are like, there's one spot on that banana, I'm not touching it.
always.
So a lot of times we have a lot of bananas left over because it's one of the favorite fruits, but one of the pickiest fruits.
Right.
So we do banana bread often.
Awesome.
And the chocolate chip version is a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did not have any bananas, but I'm like, I want to make this so bad. Like every other recipe was like banana. I'm like, this is a sign. And they're
Yeah.
like, but we don't have it. I'm like,
What did you do?
cafeteria does.
Oh, yeah.
We do. Yeah. There's always bananas down there to use.
There's a will, there's a way.
Yes, I love that.
Perfect.
right. And can you tell us your name?
The speaker. My name's Rhea.
And which, how many years have you been in culinary?
2.
Okay. And was it your first choice for your shop? So you got your first choice. That's good. And what are some of the things that you've learned to do, would you say? Different skills that you could say you know how to do.
Like learning more skills in baking and stuff before I even knew how to. And like in the cooking process, I learned so many different techniques from last year from the seniors and stuff. So it helped me gain more confidence in learning how to do it on my own without asking help.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Are you leaning more towards pastry or are you leaning more towards
are.
Okay, I saw that little glimmer when you were talking about baking. Yeah.
Was
it's
it the
usually
same look I had?
yes,
when
the
you were
patty
reading
melt.
the
Yes.
menu?
Because it's usually with culinary, right? It's one or the other, right, ladies? It's usually you're a chef by heart or you're a baker with a pastry.
Yeah. What are you leaning towards? We could.
I know.
another-
Here, how about this one?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you could share.
You could
the
share.
share.
Yeah.
Share the.
yeah.
I'm aiming more towards cooking. I think that there's more of a variety and open doors, more authentic or anything, and there's a lot more different recipes. And then with baking, personally, I just feel like it's kind of copy paste, same little things. But
Baking is hard, I find, because you have to do everything
more precise.
exactly
It's a
how
science.
it is.
And I'm more than a I don't know. I don't really have a sweet tooth. I'm more like savory, salty.
There you go.
I also don't
For
like to
sure.
follow recipes. Although
Yeah.
terrible. I mean, that's what I do for a living, right? We have standardized recipes,
Right.
but that's part of the reason
But when
that I
you
went
cook, yeah.
towards culinary versus pastry was, you really have to follow recipes
Yeah.
and love to be exact and have a science, and probably like me and you were just bam, throwing
Yeah,
stuff
like
in
Yeah,
there.
change
and
it
it
up.
doesn't have to be like exact. You can kind of like experiment.
Yeah, don't ever ask me how I made
Add a little
something
bit of
because I
this
won't be able
I
to.
know. Do you both bake and cook more like at home outside of school?
I mostly bake more when
Yeah.
I'm outside of school. I do cook, but like
Yeah.
I do a lot of baking. It helps me calm down and it's like soothing.
It's a true passion. I love that.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I'd say I cook a little more. Obviously, like if I'm hanging out with people, I'll probably bake some cookies.
Yeah, that is awesome.
And are you also in your second year?
Yeah,
in
we're in the same year. So
Okay, yeah, and I love that you said that it's calming.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that too. Because it's almost meditative. Like you get into a rhythm of doing something like baking or making something, and
That's how you know you really love
Yeah.
something, because baking for me is stressful.
Yes.
But other things are calming, so the fact that it's calming for you is really cool.
Yeah. Halfway through
Right.
cookies, I'm freaking out. Yeah, halfway through carbonara, I got a smile on my face.
Yeah.
It definitely depends on what you love.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you guys
Yes.
making that up for us.
Great job.
So, can we try it?
Is it time?
So we were going to ask you, Rachel, about the pizza. You had mentioned the students voting on pizza toppings.
Pizza toppings,
Yes.
yeah.
And I also wanted to circle back to that fourth grade
Yeah, oh,
tribunal.
the advisory
that
board,
you-
tough
Yeah.
advisory board. I'll tell you what.
Advisory board.
I mean, I showed up and they had folders ready to go and
Wow.
clipped
Thank you.
paper.
Was that a certain school?
Yes, that one at the time was Munger
Thank
Hill.
you. Oh, it
Funny
was?
enough, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I've been to a few varieties. And it's definitely
And-
super fun to see the kids and what they want.
Give one to Mr. Cole.
Oh, yeah. He
He's
needs
in
one
the
in
back
there.
over there. Okay.
There's a lot.
Wait, I missed the toppings.
Wait a minute. Let's try.
Talk about the
Moment
toppings.
We didn't do the
Oh,
toppings
okay,
yet.
okay.
We kind of got into the fourth grade.
Okay.
Ladies, fantastic.
it's good.
I love it.
Very good.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we want to hear.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's awesome. I mean, something like that warm in the morning for kids
Yes.
when they're coming into school, you know what I mean? And you get fruit, juice with it, milk, you know what I mean? It's a great way to start the day. And it smells great in the schools, when they're walking in.
Banana bread, I feel like it's very underrated. That it should
Right.
Yeah.
be.
I make banana bread a lot. And I think it's because of the banana problem.
Yes,
Like I
banana
buy a
problems.
Costco sized banana pack and it doesn't get
Oh, every
eaten.
time,
And
every
I
time.
can't throw bananas in the trash, so I'm sort of forced to make banana
Oh, yeah.
bread.
Or I freeze them, you know what I mean? And then stare
Yeah.
at it
Oh,
for 2
that's-
months in
yeah.
the freezer, But yeah, so in talking about the advisory, so we encourage students, no matter what grade, no matter what topic you want to talk about, to talk to food services, the cafeteria managers, the workers, because you guys are our audience. So we figure, really, we're doing ourselves a disjustice here
Yeah.
if we're not asking the questions. So I've been invited to quite a few advisory boards at different schools. Munger Hill fourth grade was the hardest by far. They were very serious.
That's
and
great.
They were super serious about pizza toppings. And,
Yeah.
So they had voted on the top 3 pizza toppings in that school. So that's what I had said to
So
them.
all the students voted.
Yep, and it was hysterical. Yeah, it was, bacon, I think, was number 1, hamburger was number 2, and then somebody else had bacon ranch as, you know what I mean? an
Which you
option.
have now at Munger Hill,
We
right?
do, yes, we
Okay,
do.
I have heard about that.
True to storm, you tell me you want it, we're going to put it on
Yeah.
there. So we did. So we revamped the menus a little bit, and we came up with a bunch of different toppings that we've tried. Some have failed, some have been fantastic. That's par for course, you know what I mean? We're hoping that, they stick and they're great, but sometimes they flop a little bit.
Yeah.
Our veggie pizza isn't the favorite of the day.
Oh,
But the bacon seems to be the winner.
Yes.
Chicken bacon ranch or just bacon in general is a huge player out
that's
here.
cool. I love that.
Yeah, or
Do you
buffalo
eat
chicken.
School lunch?
Mainly the pizza.
We've actually changed our pizza products. You guys like it this year?
We made homemade pizza yesterday, actually.
Nice.
So
homemade
you're
pizza,
able,
yum.
so on your shop week, are you able to eat every day?
It depends.
Or are you,
In the mornings, you can ask, like, hey, like, can we make breakfast, like eggs or something? And they'll be like, good amount of time, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Go for it. Do you?
I mean, as long as you clean up, I mean,
As
they
long-
don't really
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chef Nick and Rogers are pretty
Pretty
chill.
about that.
So when you guys do come into the cafeteria, pizza's your go-to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
yeah.
Everything else, sometimes it's like weird.
it's a hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss, huh? What's your favorite? Have you guys tried like a meal that's your favorite other than the pizza? I mean, I know you culinary guys don't eat much in the cafeteria. We don't get to see you guys often, but
Gotta think about that.
I know you're like the last people to try the food in the schools with cooking it, you know.
I feel
that's
like
the funny part.
The only thing I really eat is pizza. Once in a while, I'll have the burger, but then
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
that one's like a big hit or miss.
Yeah, now we do butcher block burgers, which are
Oh.
super good.
Ooh.
Yeah, I used to think that way about our burgers too. It was a hit or miss because if they were cooked just 2 minutes too long,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, with processed burgers like that. But now with butcher block, it's
Kinda
made such a
can't go
big
wrong.
difference.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big difference for us for
So
sure.
the pizza is different this year because I noticed
It
that it's called
is.
something different.
So Big Daddy's
Big
pizza.
Daddy's
Yeah.
pizza.
So we actually we did a lot of taste testing with pizza because pizza obviously is a huge
Right.
thing.
It's a big
And we wanted cleaner ingredients and labels, but better tasting pizza. So we went through a bunch of different companies to try and figure out what our kids thought was the best. And Big Daddy's won out by far this past year. So we switched over, and our pizza sales have about tripled. We not only did Big Daddy's, but we also switched to self-service with the secondary schools. With all of the new equipment, now we have hot tabletops that we can put the pizza, the whole pizza, right out on the
And they
tabletop,
just go and
they serve
grab it.
themselves. Yeah, so the lines move faster, which is nice. Kids have more time to eat.
Yeah.
And the self-service helps us, but it also enables us to put out a better quality product because we don't have to let it sit as long because we're serving it. You know what I mean? So it's hotter, it's fresher, it's faster out of the oven. So it's really made a big difference. And yeah, I don't know why, but this one is a winner. It's
Now, did they
tripled the sales.
vote too? Like, how did you know that was the favorite?
Yeah, they did. So in a lot of the cafeterias, what we would do is we would either have like a bulletin board. You could, put a sticker on
Oh, cool.
which side that you liked.
Yeah.
Or they just did through the lines when kids were exiting out with their trays. How was that pizza? Did you like the other one better? Just trying to get the information as best we could.
I love it. So student driven.
Yeah, Big Daddy's won out.
And students can give feedback on it. I mean, that's really cool. I didn't know I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
It's been great. Yeah.
so how do you decide on your menu? Mrs. Kenya was telling us how they put the menus together. Who decides what is being made in
Mostly
your?
about like chefs like
What
the
they
chef,
want.
yeah, pretty much, or like what we have to and like and like the ingredients, or if you give a recommendation like probably like on the Friday, like at the end of shop.
Or sometimes what's the most popular.
Yeah, they'll
Gotcha.
either put it on the like next like menu for the next time.
Well, I have an important question because I'm deciding what I'm going to get for my lunch today. And I was wondering, do you, in your cheeseburger chowder, do you have potatoes in that?
She made that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Potatoes chopped up small?
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Not too small, but like
Decent sized
yeah, decent
potato.
size.
What kind of spices are in cheeseburger?
There was not that much spices that went in it. Mostly like mustard seasoning and a little bit of salt and pepper, and then just the ordinary like garlic, celery, and just cheese and like ground beef.
Okay.
Do you ever
Sounds
have
good.
homemade pizza on your menu? Because I'm a big pizza fanatic.
You know,
I don't think we've ever.
I have
yeah, we
seen
have.
it on
We
there.
only,
Wow.
we only did it once.
Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't
You
seen it.
can you let me know?
right?
Oh,
Call
Do you
let-
ever?
we'll let you
Because
know.
Okay, no.
I love
Don't
that.
worry.
And what about, did you make something that's on
I
today's
made
menu?
the kielbasa and cabbage soup.
Okay. And had you ever, I don't know if I've ever had kielbasa and cabbage.
I have.
I've never had it.
Is it almost like a St. Patrick's Day kind of, the cabbage part?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't really know.
No.
Sometimes people call it like lazy man.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Does it have noodles in it?
No,
Oh.
it doesn't.
Oh,
It's
Okay,
I've never
so
tried it.
Stay away from the grains. You
Yeah.
know, the protein of the vegetable.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Protein and vegetable.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Let's keep it on the up.
I'll just say it's I like it. It tastes pretty good. Added a couple more vegetables in there.
Awesome. Healthy too.
Nice. So is there anything else that you want to highlight?
Yeah, I think one thing I wanted to push to parents too is, you know, not only that everybody is free, but we want to push to parents, you know, that kids, we're talking about picky kids and all of this sort of stuff, and you know, just to be patient with the kids.
Yeah.
And we're trying to also be patient with kids, you know, with wasting things thrown out in the trash. But I tell my staff, you know, because of course they take it personally, right? You know,
Yeah.
if grandma cooked you all this food and you threw it in the trash. But the thing is, you know, the science behind it shows you it takes 7 to 8 times of a child being introduced to something to, one, decide if they really like it. You know, they may the first few times like, no, that's not it for me. But if it's cooked a different way, if it's, you know, paired with something different, they might change their tone. So parents get discouraged very quickly, especially with picky kids. You know, don't get so discouraged. Keep putting it on the plate. Keep trying. You know, like I said, it's 7 to 8 times a lot of times of being exposed to something for a kid to even try it, let alone like it. So that's why there's a lot of times where, you know, my managers will say, well, this isn't the most popular thing, or, you know, pears is the least popular, you know, fruit that we have. Well, it's like, so we did it for a try it day, because there was a lot of kids that have never even tried pears, let alone that they don't like them, but they've never even tried it. So it's just, you know, keep trying, keep putting it on the plate, you know, keep the plates well rounded, you know, and that's kind of what you want to teach and push to the kids. And that what we're trying to teach and push to the kids is, you know, moderation on everything. A balanced plate is so much healthier for you at the end of the day. It's something that I want to tell parents too. A lot of parents don't realize, a lot of home lunch parents, the kids that are picky and want home lunch, we do something that's called a milk meal. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's available at all the schools, even the secondary schools. And what it is you can grab a milk, some type of grain. They usually have like Cheez-Its or animal crackers or something available at the register. And then you can grab the vegetable and the fruit. So you don't necessarily have to grab the main meal. It's called the milk meal. So we have 5 components, but as long as a child takes 3, one of them being a fruit or a vegetable, that's acceptable. So say a kid comes, you know, you send your child with their favorite sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
They can still.
Right. They can still grab a milk, grab the bag of Cheez-Its or animal crackers, and the vegetable of the day and the fruit of the day. So we have veggie cups, fresh veggie cups a lot of times, that sort of stuff. So what parents don't realize is that milk meal counts for us as a reimbursable meal for the federal, you know, reimbursement, but then is a nice addition to your child's lunch. Because a lot of times, I'm sure you know, the most expensive part of the lunch is all of the stuff that goes along with it, right? All the stuff, the fruit strips, all of that stuff. So let us, you know, prepare it for you and give it to you. And if, you know, they really love that, you know, that fluff sandwich, you know, whatever, do it. And then tell them, grab the milk meal and, you know, get your sides with it.
And they know that probably. The kids are told.
Yeah, the kids are very much into that. Yeah, a lot of them participate. You probably wouldn't even know it.
Cool. Yeah, I'm sure my kids are doing that. I don't know.
So the last thing that we need to do, and we have some more guests to guess, is to talk about what year these songs are from, and then Pete will play play one of the last 2 as we go out. So the first song was Pieces of Me, Ashley Simpson. The next was, we heard She Will Be Loved, Maroon 5, and those were 39 and 35 respectively. And then the last 2 songs are When the Sun Goes Down, Kenny Chesney and Uncle Cracker, and that was number 89.
Do you know that song? Maybe if you heard it.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
if I
And
this genre is
the last one is If I Ain't Got You, Alicia Keys, and that was number 3 in that year. So before we go out, Pete, do you want to make your guess first?
I'm going to take a stab of 2005, but that's like a shot in the dark.
Okay, okay. And then let's go to Rachel.
I'm going to go 2007.
Okay.
And Lindsay knows,
Right.
and I know. So what year do you think all those songs were from?
Say like
2006.
I was
Okay.
thinking 2006.
Okay, so all right, 2006. So the answer is they were from 2004.
I know you were.
Circling
Rachel
around
was
it
going back
early
and forth.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the cool thing. That when you put them all together, but we got in the ballpark. I mean, it wasn't the 1900s. The last radio show, the
Yes.
songs were from the 1900s.
And we
Can
had
you
we
imagine
had
that?
fifth graders on, and they were like the 1900s, and we were like,
1900s.
wow, that sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that, I mean, was
That'll
now a long time.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thank you so much.
Of course.
serving us the delicious banana bread with chocolate chips. I did not need 7 or 8 tries on that.
Correct.
It was
I
Yes.
know.
right away. I knew.
And thank you, Rachel, for everything you do for our schools.
Thank
I
you.
learned a lot, and I really appreciate it. And I think there's a lot that parents don't necessarily know that you shared
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
glad
lucky
to-
have you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. We're glad. Westfield Eats staff is an amazing group of people, and they really every day tried very, very hard to keep your kids safe, happy,
Yeah.
and full. So
Yeah.
participate if you can, and call the food service office if you have any questions or concerns. And we'd love to see you out there, and join us on Instagram and Facebook,
Yes.
Westfield Eats. You can follow along, see the pictures that we're doing, the try it days, the the new recipes and stuff that are coming up.
Love that.
Great.
Well, have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Suntan toes tickling the sand, cold drink chilling in my right hand, watching you sleep in the evening light, resting up for a long, long night. 'Cause when the sun goes down, we'll be grooving. When the sun goes down, we're feeling alright. When the sun sinks down over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down, yeah. All day long, just taking it easy, laying in a hammock where it's nice and breezy, and sleeping off the night before. 'Cause when the sun goes down, we'll be back for more. When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving. When the sun goes down, we'll be feeling alright. When the sun sinks down over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down. This old guitar and my dark sunglasses, this sweet concoction is smooth as molasses. Nothing to do but breathe all day until the big moon rises and it's time to play. When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving. When the sun goes down, we'll be feeling alright. When the sun sinks down over the water, everything gets hotter when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, when the sun goes down. We'll be grooving when the sun goes down. We'll be feeling alright when the sun sinks down over the water. Everything gets hotter when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, we'll be grooving when the sun goes down. Be feeling alright when the sun sinks down over the water. She thinks cracker's sexy when the sun goes down. We'll be feeling alright when the sun sinks down over the water. Uncle Kenny's hotter when the sun goes